Welcome back, everybody. This is the second episode of our Stargate review and overview of the Stargate RPG from Wyvern Games. This time around, we are going to be doing the races and the classes. I know that a lot of folks have been asking for that, so we're just going to jump right into it. All right. So with this coalition of classes, every flame begins with a spark. While the spark of the Galactic Rebellion may have been SG-1, the resulting conflagration touches every world in the Milky Way with the Stargate. So this is kind of an intro to, there's going to be a lot of different things. The 5 races presented in this chapter have so far had recruits to join the Phoenix site. Alturian, basically newfound race hailing from an ancient civilization, lived secluded for tens of thousands of years. Their species was once similar to humanity and trying to aggressively colonize their world. And their great houses warred over resources. So this, and if you've watched the actual SG-1 series, you'll definitely, see, they've got the leaves, they've got all the feathers. Using the gift from the Nox to shield their home world from prying eyes, the Alturian were spared from the ravages of the system lords. So going into their class, they're anywhere between 6'4" and 7 feet tall. Their hair and eyes can be any color, often growing more vibrant with age. Technology seems strange to the Tari, which is normal humans. But this is no less impressive. Alturian seeks to live in symbiosis with their environment, and their technology has an organic feel. So they are, it gives a little bit about how the recruits, how their worlds are. Now it comes to the traits. They get 10 hit die, plus 10 additional hit points. Choose either wisdom or charisma to improve by 2. Choose any 2 skill proficiencies. An Alturian gains advantage on any saves against disease or poison. Naturalist. Whenever you make a science check that involves an ecosystem and the creatures within, you add a TD to the check. Hit points, you gain, this is their traits here. If you take the sub race or subset, you gain 8 additional hit points. Choose either Constitution or Charisma. And once again, invisibility. While not as skilled as the Nox, you can use advanced mental techniques honed by years of pacifism to hide yourself from view. As an action, you may gain the invisible condition for 1 minute or 10 rounds of combat. And you may use this ability a number of times per day per long rest equal to your proficiency bonus. If you take an action affecting a non-friendly target, such as an attack, that ends. Pacifist, you are unwilling to cause harm to a living creature in any way. You may not willingly harm another living being. You cannot take an action that deals hit point damage or attribute damage to a living creature. You gain disadvantage on all attack rolls, even those against non-living targets or with weapons that don't deal damage. So really, they are going to be more of your stand back and be like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm good. The humans, the Tari. First humans from their folklore as the Tori, meaning people of Earth. Planets planet with major free human civilizations currently known to Stargate Command include the following: Abydos, Argos, and then the last. Yeah, there's quite a few here. Um, Humans, you gain 10 hit points. Choose either intelligence or charisma, and any two skill proficiencies. When you recover hit points due to a short rest, you gain an additional TD hit points. Humans are so common across the galaxy, gain advantage for all persuasion and deception checks made during first contact with any group not having yet met their visitors from another world. So if your GM takes you to a place where, hey, they haven't met you guys before, you get that. You can either try to do the deception or the persuasion to get in there. Then you have the different traits for the different subsects. So the Abelodian, the Tholan, advanced technology. Whenever you make an engineering check to discern the function of technology with a tech level of 4 or higher, you add a plus TD to the check. Of course, then you have the Jaffa. This basically is essentially through the free Jaffa. So we are to that point where the free Jaffa have really come in. Dakara is the first world of the Jaffa. It is there among the ruins of the ancients, and Gaul Queen created Jaffa and implanted the first primata into hosts. Many Jaffa consider it the home world of their race. Although all Jaffa know that the Phoenix site were born off-world. And this goes into a little bit about how the recruits work. The drug that they need for the immune system, if they decide to relinquish their symbiote to keep them alive. The Jaffa traits. Jaffa who still have a Goa'uld larva implanted in his abdominal pouch has the following abilities: plus 12 hit points. Either strength or dex gets a plus 2, and you're proficient in Jaffa weapons such as the staff. In addition, choose any one skill proficiency. The symbiote. As long as Jaffa has symbiote, they may choose to gain advantage on any physical save, strength, dex, or con. A Jaffa may use this ability once per proficiency bonus, minimum of 1, replenishing the uses during a long rest. If Jaffa is deprived, I should say, of their symbiote, they must make a DC 10 Constitution save each hour or suffer 1d4 Constitution damage. The free Jaffa, who do not have their symbiotes, only get a D10 or only get 10 hit points. They get 2 to either Dex or Wisdom, and they're still proficient in the Jaffa weapons. Resistance training. Free Jaffa had after proficiency bonus to attack rolls with a weapon they aren't proficient in. Note: a Jaffa who loses a symbiote loses the symbiote, and I'm going to murder this. Crinolim abilities to gain the Tetragon prescription ability if they can get the drug. They do not gain any Jaffa traits or abilities. The Tok'ra. Created by the Goa'uld Queen, in opposition to the tyranny of the System Lord Ra. She instilled compassion in the genetic memory of her primat and named them the Tok'ra, name meaning against Ra. In retaliation for the creation of the Tok'ra, System Lord Ra and the Queen removed from her host and imprisoned for thousands of years, living leaving the Tok'ra without any new symbiotes, basically. This goes more into the Tok'ra worlds and how the recruits act, just like everything else. A Tok'ra created by the Queen a millennium ago has the following abilities: D10, Intelligence or Wisdom, get a +2, and choose any two scale proficiencies. You can kind of see how it, each one is good at one or the other. You can kind of see how that kind of works. Synergies. As long as the Tok'ra has a symbiote, they may choose to gain advantage on any mental, intelligence, willpower, or charisma save. The Tok'ra may use this ability once per wisdom modifier, minimum of 1. Replenishes the uses during a long rest. If a Tok'ra is deprived of their symbiote, they lose the ability as their regeneration. Tok'ra is healed a full hit point during a long rest. If a Tok'ra is deprived, they lose that ability. Then it goes into a little bit more. If a Tok'ra created recently on Pangar has the following abilities: D10, Charisma or Wisdom. They are shrewd diplomats. The people of Pangara are culturally predisposed to friendly contact and negotiation with outsiders. They may use intelligence or wisdom instead of charisma to make persuasion checks. And once again, the regeneration here, they're healed to full hit points. I think I misread that on the other one. Yeah, full hit points on the regeneration for both of the different kinds. Of course, if they, deprived of their symbiote, lose it all. The Unas. These are some really, really, really beautiful guys. They're very pretty. Unas evolved in the same homeworld, the Gaold, and became their first hosts with natural strength and regenerative abilities, which could be further enhanced to serve the system lords as enforcers and laborers. And this goes a little bit more into their background. Their Unas PX 888 is where they're from. Gould infested Unas are common agents of system lords because of their brutish appearance, can terrorize Tari populations into compliance. Ugh, I can't talk today. This goes more into what the Unas do, their recruits, how they act, etc. Proficiencies, they get 14 hit points. They choose either strength or con to improve by 2, and choose any 2 proficiencies. Impressive resistance. When you are the target of an attack, you may use your reaction to gain resistance to damage for a total number of rounds equal to your total TD. You may use this ability once per long rest. While this ability is active, you cannot be reduced below 1 hit point, regardless of how much damage you take. Robust. Unas add +4 to their strength to determine how much they can lift or carry. In addition, they gain advantage on strength checks made to lift, carry, or push, such as battering a door open. These are your door kickers. Claws. Unas have claws that can be used as a melee weapon, dealing 1d6 damage. Unchained Unas traits. You are a Unas freed from Gaold slavery by agents of the Phoenix site. You still get 14. You get a +2 to your strength or con, which is the same, and improve 2 proficiency skills. Underestimated. Non-Unas have a tendency to assume you understand less than you do. You gain advantage on checks to conceal the truth or otherwise lie to non-Unas, which is really cool because everyone thinks, oh, Unas, dumb. Oh, no, not dumb. I'm smart. Uh, Impressive resilience when you were targeted by an attack. Same thing. Reaction, claws, melee, 1d6 damage. Then we get into the origins. You know, building your character's history. So this is, going into how did you come to the Phoenix site? How did you come to the Stargate program? Uh, and these are, if you want to think of it in Pathfinder terms, these are basically the like traits. Like some of these will give you +1 to strength, wisdom, dexterity, wisdom, charisma. So your biome where you're from. Starship +1 to dex. You're good in the void. Grasslands, your natural sprinter. Your movement speed increases by 1 meter. Just to name a few of them. Then you have terraform, toxic, which gives you a bump to your con. Subterranean, once again to your dex. Then you have your background origins. So you're an aviator, a diver, or a driver, your enforcement, enslaved, former host, freedom fighter, entertainer. You can be an entertainer. Healer, military, herdsman, preserve. I can't say that. You can work in preservation. Hunter gatherer, politician. Yes, they actually have politician in here. Liaison, merchant, refugee, which gives you bonuses to uh, skills. So basically, that's what the background origins give you is your skill boost. So it gives you. So if you choose, let's say, athletics and culture, and you just choose, hunter gatherer, you can also have survival. Sailor, swindler, scholar, teacher, century right, sleuth, underworld. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't on the up and up on your world. A student. Then you have your racial origins, which will give you, like Tory military, human, must be from Earth. You're proficient in martial arts, long arms, and heavy armor. You pick one of those. So basically, it gives you kind of, race specific origins, which is actually pretty cool. Now we're getting into what everybody's waiting for, the classes. So we have the diplomat, the engineer, the medic, scientist, scout, and soldier. So the diplomat, power of words. Words aren't words are if words weren't one of the most powerful things in the universe, then speech would not be opposed by tyrants. You know, basically influencing people. So your diplomat at first level, you get inspire, your first inspiration. Level 2, you get pep talk, word in an ear, force of will, second inspiration, diplomatic expertise, ability, score improvement, strong personality, and third inspiration. So your hit points are 8. So this stacks on top of your race. And then you get 5 hit points per level. Your hit die is a d8. You determination points, you get a +2. Proficiencies, it goes into your armor, your weapons, tools, your saving throws or wisdom and charisma, skills, culture, deception, insight, and persuasion. You add a translator to your base kit, which is cool. I mean, you can be able to do anything. Inspire. Your mere presence inspires your comrades to pursue their mission in a myriad of clever, if sometimes unperceived ways. During a long rest, you may grant all team members 1d6 temporary hit points with an action. The die roll is called the Inspire die. These temporary hit points last until the next long rest or until removed by damage. So the diplomat is kind of the bard. If you want to think of it that way, if you want to throw it kind of in D&D terms or Pathfinder terms. Your inspirations that you have, basically it goes into more information on a later page. Pep talk, you can give a stirring speech to your team, can restore 1d4 determination points. Word of ear, second level, you can inspire a single team member within 1 meter as an action. Roll your inspire hit die to grant the target inspire hit points as normal. Characters who currently have been inspired hit points are immune to this ability. A character may only be targeted by the word in an ear once per long rest. Force of will, third level. You can inspire when you take a short or long rest. Characters already benefiting from inspire are immune to a second application. Diplomatic expertise. At fourth level, you choose culture, insight, or persuasion. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check you use with that chosen proficiency. Your ability score, increase the wisdom or charisma by 2, or you can increase 2 ability scores of your choice by 1. As normal, you cannot increase an ability score above 20 using this feature. Strong personality, at 5th level, your inspire dice increases from a d6 to a d8. And you have the engineer. This is the one that I actually played at Gen Con. I really enjoyed this class. Due to no small part of the fantastical advances in technology throughout the Milky Way, the Phoenix site is in need of more engineers than it could ever recruit. Now, funny thing is that when we played this, the entire, I think we had 1 soldier at one session, 1 soldier and 4 engineers. So we had a lot of fun with that. We all looked at each other. Who has the C4? So we knew who the combat engineer was. So creative solutions. So yeah, jury rig. That's your first thing. You hold it together and whack it. Second level. Tune up. Second modification. Broad spectrum scanners. Ability score improvement. Nanotech specialist, third modification. Hit points are a d8. Hit points at higher levels are 5 per level. So if you remember from my last episode, we talked about once you hit level 5, I think it was, that you don't gain class things anymore. You get feats. At that point, your hit die goes away and you just get 5 per level. That's what that hit points per level is. Proficiencies, light, common weapon, sidearm, long arm, engineering kit, explosives, blow shit up. Fabrication kit, dexterity and intelligence, engineering, piloting, and perception. You get an engineering kit. Jury rig. You are an expert at field repairs, even when you have to get creative. When you use an engineering kit to repair a machine, you heal 2d8 points of the damage instead of 2d6. In addition, you may repair an adjacent machine as an action rather than only during a short rest. Modification, you don't just fix and maintain your equipment. You also make some special modifications that enhances the effectiveness of you and your team's gear. Choose 1 modification feat. Once again, those are on another page, and I'll be going over that in a different video. First level, and another 3rd and 5th. Hold together. When you benefit from cover, you gain resistance to damage of attacks hindered by that cover. Whack it. At second level, you learn the time-honored tradition of a well-placed thump. You go full Fonzie on it. Just as a bonus action, you can give one adjacent machine plus 1d6 temporary hit points if that brings the machine's hit points to above half its normal HP. It begins to function immediately. You may only maintain these temporary hit points on one machine at a time. So if you have, let's say, 3 turrets set up, you've got one that's not working, it's below half hit points, you hurry up, you whack it, you fix it, and it brings it up, boom, it's going to start working for you. Tune-up. At third level, you add an intelligence modifier to the amount repaired when you repair a machine or grant a machine temporary HP. Broad spectrum scanners. At fourth level, you can use intelligence instead of wisdom to make perception check. Ability score, either dex or intelligence by 2, or you can do 2. Once again, not over. Xenotech Specialist, starting at 5th level, you've gained a broad understanding of various technologies, aliens, to your home. Wait, that doesn't sound right. English technologies to your homeworld. When performing an episode R&D encounter, you may use this out-of-the-box thinking to reduce the time required by 1 stage, minutes required a round, hours required minutes, and so on. In addition, you gain advantage on ability check to understand the function and design of the technology with which you are not already familiar. So let's say you get an something Asgardian, you don't know anything about Asgardian. This will allow you to figure out how it works. The medic. This goes in whether their med kit is filled with penicillin or some alien fungus collected from the southern side of Uvala tree. The medic must know what tools heal which wounds. So this kind of goes in. You get first aid, first procedure, triage, unnoticed field medic, man down, second procedure, physician heal thyself, ability score improvement, and first response, and third procedure. Hit points here, once again, is 8. It's got a D8, 2 determination points, and after that 5th level, you get 5 hit points. Proficiencies. Common weapons, sidearm shotguns, light, med kit, outbreak kit. Saving throws are dexterity and wisdom, athletic, insight, medicine, and science. You add a med kit to your base kit. First aid. You are extensively trained in field medicine, allowing you to rapidly provide aid to a wounded team member. When you use a med kit to heal, you add your proficiency bonus to the healed amount. In addition, you may use a med kit to heal a wounded team member as an action rather than during a short rest. Med kits cannot heal the target again until after a short rest. Procedures. You learn a few advanced medical and scientific procedures you can employ in the field. Choose one of the procedures, and once again, it's in the feat section. First, third, and 5th level. Triage. Starting at 2nd level, you can observe a character's current physical condition as a bonus action with a DC 20 medical check. If successful, you learn the character's current and total HP as well as their total hit die. You suffer disadvantage against the target if you're unfamiliar with the biology. Unnoticed field mech. At 2nd level, you heal a team member using first aid. Attacks against you suffer disadvantage during your next turn. Man down at 3rd level. While you are conscious and within 1 meter of a dying team member, they require 1 fewer death saves to stabilize. Yes, this is, like I said, based on 5th ed in my first video, so there are death saves. Physician Heal Thyself at 4th level. You may use the med kit on yourself as a bonus action. Ability score improvement. Once again, wisdom or intelligence, or +1, can't go over 20. First response, you may add your wisdom modifier to the damage you heal with a med kit. In addition, you may use a med kit to heal a scuffed team member as an action rather than during a short rest. Scientist. So this is going to be kind of, I would say, almost like Captain Carter-ish, if you want to think about that. Someone who is good with looking at everything, or even a Daniel Jackson, getting in, sinking in, looking at the lore of something, looking at how things are working. So with that, they get Eureka, a first discovery. Apt analogy, great mind. Cross-discipline studies, second discovery. Resilient mind, ability score. Casual genius for science. Okay, as a scientist, you hit determination points, a D8, 8 points, 5 per level after, 2 determination points. I'm seeing a kind of a trend here. Light armor, common weapons and sidearms, tools, explosive research, translator, int and will, culture, investigation, nature, and science. Now, looking here, it looks like they have Eureka. Whenever you fail an intelligence or wisdom check during a mission, you gain 1 Eureka point. You may have a maximum number of Eureka points equal to your intelligence or wisdom mod, whichever is higher. All unspent Eureka points are lost at the end of each mission. Whether you make an intelligence or wisdom check, you may spend 1 Eureka point to gain advantage. Discoveries. You are careful to study scientific principles, and your chosen field of study allow you to make insights few others would consider. Choose 1 discovery feat, which again is going to be coming later. First level, 3rd level, and 5th level. Aptonology. Starting at 2nd level, you can employ an easy to understand analogy to help others work through complex, any type of problem. Once per short rest, you grant friendly character 1 TD, bonus to int or wisdom checks. Great mind. At 2nd level, you are difficult to deceive or confuse. You are immune to the charmed condition. You gain advantage on any insight checks to discern lies. At 3rd level, you have half your proficiency bonus rounded down to any intelligence, wisdom, or charisma checks that doesn't already include your proficiency bonus, which that's kind of cool. Resilient mind. At 4th level, you suffer intelligence, wisdom, or charisma damage. Reduce the amount suffer by 1 point, minimum 1. Of course, your ability score, wisdom or int, +2, or you can divide them up. Casual genius. At 5th level, you begin each mission with a number of Eureka points equal to half your proficiency bonus, rounding down. For science at 5th level, you may spend an Eureka point to gain advantage on charisma checks in addition to intelligence and wisdom checks. Then we have the Scout. One of the common recruits of the Phoenix program are Scouts, which are pulled from every corner of the galaxy, from forgotten Unos clan surviving the volcanic worlds to detectives hunting justice in the dark alleys of Earth cities. Scouts fill the ranks of the Phoenix program. With the Scout, once again, it's a D10 hit die. You get 10 at the start, and then 6 per level after 5th. Proficiencies, you have light armor, common weapons, martial arts, bows, sidearms, long arms. Camo kit, explosives. You get con and dex is your saving throws, perception, stealth, and survival. So these are the guys who are going to go out and look, and basically going to be your forerunner. You get a camo kit, survivalist. There we go. Survivalist, and then you get your first field hack, Vanguard, Rigged Trap, Uncanny Dodge, Scout's Cunning, Ability Score Improvement, second field hack, and then Evasion. So with the Survivalist, you're trained to survive on any world, in any biome. You gain resistance to damage from your environment, including non-natural environment dangers like traps. Field hacks, you become especially adept at a trick that improves the team's efficiency in the field. Choose one of the hacks. At second level, with Vanguard, you get a +1 additional D6 damage within the range against any target within 5 meters. Starting at second level, you can use excess equipment to booby trap a 1 meter area as an action. You can scavenge parts from a number of traps equal to your proficiency bonus, refilling these parts during any long rest. When a character enters the designated 1 meter area, it will trigger the trap, but the characters may make a perception check of D8 plus proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier to notice the trap before entering. We set up of one of 3 traps. Targets must succeed a DC 20 or suffer 2d6 damage from hidden spikes. Snare. Targets must succeed a DC 20 dexterity save or become entangled. It requires an action with a successful DC 20 strength, dexterity, or wisdom check to remove this condition. Grenade. You may attach your trap with a grenade in your possession, which is detonated when the trap is activated. Uncanny Dodge. It looks like this is very similar to the D&D. When an attacker can hit you with an attack, you can use your reaction to gain basically resistance to damage. Ability does not function against attacks that deal damage in an area or cone. Scout's Cunning. Third level. Your quick thinking and agility allow you to act efficiently. You can take a bonus action on each of your turns of combat. This action can be used only to take a dash, disengage, or hide action. Ability score improvement, either dex or wisdom, +2 or +1 to 2 different ones. Evasion. You can nimbly dodge out of the way of certain area effects. So this is like the rogue's evasion. And last but not least, the soldier. The site, despite the exploratory mission, is a military organization, the ultimate goal of freedom and security. Not just Earth, but all sentient species across the Milky Way galaxy. Indeed, soldiers are a vital part of the Phoenix site, visibly guarding key corridors and facilities all hours of the day and night. So they get 10 hit points, D10 hit die, and get 6 per level after 5th. But they only get 1 determination point. Proficiencies, they get light and heavy armor. Weapons, common, martial arts, sidearms, and long arms. Tools is camo and explosives. Strength and con are their saving throws. Athletics, intimidation, and pilot are their proficiencies. They get tactical flexibility, and then their first tactic, surge, rally, martial training, improved critical. Second tactic, along with the ability improvement score and tactical superiority. So you add a long arm upgrade to your base kit. Tactical flexibility. You've learned to direct your team in a variety of tactics. As an action, you may activate a tactic feat you do not know. This tactic lasts for a number of rounds equal to. How would you activate a tactic that you don't know? That's odd. Um, Tactic lasts a number of rounds equal to the charisma modifier, minimum one. When the duration has run out, you may choose the tactic you know, if any, to reactivate automatically once you use this ability. You cannot use it again until after a long rest. Tactics. You've trained extensively with a specific tactic and providing advantages to your team. Your team may benefit from one tactic at a time. You can change your current tactic with another tactic you know with an action on your turn. Choose one tactic from the feats tactical feats, which we'll go into that at first and fourth. Surge. You can take an additional action on your turn, even an attack, as a bonus action. You must complete a short or long rest before you can do this ability again. Rally. If you're wounded, when an initiative is rolled, you can start at the start of any action encounter. You may immediately heal TD hit points. I think that's TD is total die. So I think it's whatever your level is. So you roll like 2d10, whatever it happens to be. Once used, you may not activate this ability again until you take a long rest. Martial training at third level, you train to deal maximum weapon damage with whatever melee weapon you wield. Even improvised weapons. Your minimum damage die for the melee weapon or martial arts is a D8. Improved critical, 19 or 20, does a crit. Ability score, strength or con, gets a +2, or you can, cut it up and put it between 2. Tactical superiority. At 5th level, you may have 2 tactics in effect at the same time. If you choose tactical flexibility, you must choose which one of your current active tactics is overridden by a new tactic for the duration of the effect. And at that point, that's where we're going to go ahead and stop this one. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure that you do like and subscribe, and I'll have more for you next time.